And we are live, guys. Welcome to the Men of High Value channel, your channel for life and success. My name is Joseph Darling, and today we're gonna review a little bit what you've learned so far, and then we were gonna talk about, what was the name of today's video? It says, let's see. Today's video's name is Who do you work for? Fantastic. Alright, so who do you work for? I managed to wake up today again at 5 a.m. Thank you again, Ola, for giving us that fantastic suggestion on the Waking Up Early video about the Steve Pavlina article. I suggest everyone go back and read that article because it's fantastic. I haven't done what's in the article, but just reading it made me so excited that I went through it in my head, and it's actually helping me wake up at 5 o'clock because I think about it at 5 o'clock. So anyway, it's a fantastic article. So, this is day 7. I had, let's see. I've gone through a lot of different things in the last week. I've done 7 days straight, and the first video was called Important Message to All Men Everywhere. In that video, I actually asked you, if you don't have a long-term relationship, you're married or you've been together for like a year or longer and you're gonna be with this woman forever, if you're not in that situation, I would highly recommend, again, that you simply get rid of that distraction. Your biggest distraction towards achieving success in your life is having someone to support, or having someone that you have to share everything with right now, or having someone who is unstable, and that includes, unfortunately, all women, and their philosophy of thinking and their spending habits and everything that's included in that. I would highly recommend that you just put that on pause. Don't go on dates. Don't let your power go to waste. Just use that energy instead to build your wealth and build your riches, at least for just 12 months. At least for just this program. So that you can get on with your life, create a foundation for yourself, and get yourself ready for the success that awaits you. That is absolutely what I recommend. You don't have to listen to me. But I'm just saying, I'm married, I have 3 kids. For me to get rich is probably harder for you than anyone, it's harder for me than anyone else who is watching my videos. Unless you are also married and have 3 kids or 4 kids or 6 kids, then it's probably harder for you. But that's okay, because we're in this journey together and we're gonna make things happen together simply by changing our life philosophies. My second video was about waking, or the habits, no wait, hold on, your why. Yes, I was explaining about you have to find out your why, but even if you don't have your why, finding it out is actually a why in itself. So you're gonna start this journey of going towards riches simply to find out your true purpose of life. And then I went through habits of the rich. The rich obviously have habits that the poor do not. Everyone has 24 hours and everyone has 365 days a year. The difference is that the rich people actually prioritize completely differently than what the poor have done. And that's why they're actually richer. It's not because they're fantastically much smarter. Actually, the smartest people on the planet are usually the poor ones. So we were talking about habits. The other part is failure is the key to success. A lot of people are held back by the fact that they don't want to fail. They don't want to be without money for a period of time. They're scared and they live their lives in fear. But we need to increase our rate of failure if we want to achieve success. We need to fail more often and fail more on the right things to fail about than to fail overall in your whole life in general. And waking up early was the next video, and that will help you to achieve great things. Just one thing I wanted to add on that specific video that I thought about. I use Spotify in the morning sometimes, especially when I'm going to do my push-ups or whatever it is I'm doing. There is, on Spotify, there is a song called Morning Motivation by Fearless Motivation. It's a fantastic soundtrack of someone who is speaking about the importance of waking up early in the morning. Look it up on Spotify, it's fantastic. And the last video I had was God and Wealth. That's also going to hold you back, is simply believing that God does not want you to be rich and that it's actually a fantastic thing to be poor. But it's actually the opposite. So we've just been kind of brainwashed our whole lives to believe that being poor is actually holy, or that you are more easily going to enter into the kingdom of God in the next life because you're poor. This is just ridiculous, because in order to get into the kingdom of heaven, you actually have to do a lot of things, and you have to become a lot of things, and the only way to do that is to increase your rate of development, which means increase your rate of failure. So, and the last one is, who do you work for? Well, I'll have to do that one tomorrow. I just wanted to do a short summary about what I've gone through so far. If you notice the things that I mentioned now, they are things that are holding you back. They have nothing to do with how to get rich. Like there's so many different ways that you can get rich. You can, and I won't even mention them right now because you know them. Like, if you look at companies everywhere, you have seen how other people get rich. You know what they do. And there are companies that are designed simply to actually get you rich. Like, it's amazing, but you're not involved with them because you've been held back by your thinking, by your bad habits, by your depressions, by your everything is in your head, everything is in your mind. And if you don't change the way you think, the way you believe about things, the way you believe about rich people, the way you think about God, the way you think about or that you think too much about helping other people right now, but you don't create it in a sense that's financially beneficial for them and for you, you're just treading water. You're not getting any traction on anything, and you're not solving anyone's long-term problems. That's basically what it takes to become rich, is to find a way that solves people's problems that they're willing to pay for, and creating a system so that that problem will never be a problem for those people ever again. So I hope you understand that your issues, the reason why you're not rich, is because you believe certain things about certain things. It has nothing to do with your work ethic. It has nothing to do with you not having the right idea, or it has nothing to do with any of that. It has simply to do with the things holding you back, which is the way you've been brainwashed and the way you've been raised that is stopping you from getting rich. So you have to now forget everything that you've learned. You have to unlearn everything that you've learned, and that is the hardest thing to do. So if you can manage to just give up everything in terms of what's in your brain, because that's actually the thing that's gonna help you to propel massively forward and get a lot of things done, because you're not hindered by the things that that you've learned. So I know maybe that's a bit difficult to understand, but I think you do understand what I'm saying, especially when it comes to riches. Maybe you don't forget everything that you've learned about being good, about being all the good things that you've learned. Do you understand what I mean? You just want to forget and unlearn all those things that people have said about rich people. And that will take you 10,000 steps forward towards achieving that goal of increased salary, of living an abundant life, of having more time with your family, of having everything that you know that you are destined to have, to do, and to become. This life is an absolute fantastic life. I love this life. I'm fired up every single day, even though I have issues, even though I have problems, just like you. Sometimes rich people have bigger problems, and that's actually what is it? That's actually a sign that you're rich, is that you have taken upon yourself huge problems that need to be solved. And if you solve it, then you get paid for it. But very often people are stuck thinking about small, tiny problems. And those tiny problems is basically thinking about themselves very often. They only think about themselves, and that's a poverty mindset. If you want to become rich, you have to think about everyone. At least a niche market that needs your help in your problem solving, and you can do that. So just want to wrap up this video. It's a bit longer than I wanted, but now you understand that it's just your mindsets. It's just the things in your head that's holding you back from achieving what you want to achieve. Tomorrow, I'll talk about who do you work for. I'll see you again then. Bye-bye.